I think a really important thing to discuss when you're talking about alcohol use disorder is really talk about all the different ways there is to recover. There's no one way, there's no one path, because there is as many different levels and backgrounds and the reasons why people drink to begin with, and different emotions, and people are coming from different traumas and hereditary issues, and there's usually a plethora of reasons why people drink. And I, like anybody, tends to gravitate towards things that they've experienced in their life. And if you follow me at all, well, again, I was married for 25 years, and ultimately my wife succumbed to the disease about 4.5 years ago. So I have a vantage point of eradication from your life, get it out of your life as a family member. And I think that's kind of the attitude of most family members. They just don't want it in their life anymore. Certainly when you're dealing with someone who's a late stage 3, stage 4 alcoholic, when their life is so engulfed into this disease. Things like, and I'm going to go over these, but moderation management, or programs that tend to cut back and concentrate on medications and cutting back, those don't look too great for family members when they really just want to eradicate it and they want this whole disease out of their life. But let's discuss lots of different ways. And I think, really, with the experience that I've had, so much of recovery depends on what level of an alcoholic you are and how long you've been drinking, and actually what kind of substances you're drinking, and really what are the origins? What are you running from? Is it some deep traumatized event that happened in your life? You could have a predisposition. Has your life been engulfed in this kind of culture where it's normal to drink? What is the reason why you're drinking? Or is it situational? Did you discover it later in life when you got married and you got a divorce, you lost your job, people in your life died, life events maybe became the catalyst of why you're drinking? So there's different ways to get through this for every different person. So let's discuss some of these. And there are two specific methods that I think are good if you're an earlier stage alcoholic. One is HAMS, and that actually stands for Harm Reduction, Abstinence, and Moderation. And they offer classes online, and they have Facebook groups through that, and you can also go to live local events. You can Google it and put in your zip code, just like anything. They're really a support and information group, and again, it's all free. And then they're really based on moderation, slowing down. So I would really recommend it for a late stage alcoholic. Again, you have to eradicate it in that situation. And then there's TSM, which is better known as the Sinclair method. And it's really a medication assisted format. It's evidence-based. They use naltrexone really to curb the desire for alcohol if you're having cravings. But the only problem, and there's some things that are innately wrong with it, but I'll get to that. And they now on the website they say they have a 78% success rate, but that's not talking about people who are eradicating it from life. It's people who say that they're successful at drinking or successful being able to continue with their life. So it's up for debate there. But the thing is, it doesn't address the underlying trauma, and they actually say that on their website. And it's not for people who have a court-ordered person who's not able to drink, or someone who may have an adverse reaction to alcohol. They're actually saying it. Those are the type of people who should eradicate it from their life. But what it does do is it stops drinking as a reward system. It works on that part of your brain, which is really good in the earlier stages. And to continue on the same subject, there's actually people who have been able to stop cold turkey themselves. They just made the decision, stopped. They didn't attend any meetings. They didn't go to any groups. They just stopped. And that's a big part of it. It has to come from the person. You have to be able to make a decision and really alter your life. It's about reinventing yourself, recreating yourself, changing the people that you're around, and changing your lifestyle, and being aware of that. The thing is, again, late stage alcoholics don't really have that option available. So on that note, there's also the traditional ways, like Alcoholics Anonymous. There's the woman section of Alcoholics Anonymous. Now this organization's been around for 90 years and has helped millions of people. But again, it's not as progressive. It's a little bit dated in some ways. I don't like to knock anyway. Whatever way works is the best way to go. There's also Smart Recovery, which is a little bit more progressive than AA. Life Ring, again, which is similar. Again, some of these groups are geared towards women for sobriety, for example. And I always say, if you're a woman, maybe it might be a better idea to go to a woman's group. You might be more comfortable. You might be more apt to continue with the process if you can bond with other people and really feel more comfortable about exposing your own story. And then there's a couple other groups that aren't just simply based on alcohol. One is called Celebrate Recovery, which is essentially faith-based, but it's for many issues. It's not just for trauma. It could be for codependency, anger issues, and it's not just for addiction. Could be enabling, anything really dealing with alcoholism and with emotions. And really, the other one is Al-Anon, and this is for families. This is really designed for families of the alcoholic, and it's very important. I myself never went to it. I mean, I just like a lot of people who kind of figure things out themselves. I write a book, and I've talked a lot about this particular subject, which I think in the early days helped me. At this point, honestly, it's not really about me anymore. It's really about helping other people. But these are all groups that are you should look into. And really, the whole message of this video is not to get hung up on whatever recovery that you're going through. Whatever works for you. I'll always applaud someone who's in recovery. The number one most important thing is that you're facing your denial and you realize that you have to reinvent yourself and you have to do something for your health and for your mental health. As a family member to an alcoholic, their wish, without a doubt, is to eradicate it from your life. But if moderation management will make the problem, I don't know if necessarily solve the problem, but certainly lessen the problem, start there. Start wherever you think is going to do the most damage and the most help to change your life. And again, I go live Monday through Friday, right around 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We also have the Facebook group. It's called There's an Alcoholic in the Family. Click on the link above. It's a great support group for alcoholics and their family. And when you're ready to work with me, schedule a breakthrough call. It takes about 45 minutes. We do a deep dive. I have a complete coaching program. The call is free. The coaching program definitely is not. But I've helped thousands of families and their alcoholics. And I'm looking for people who want to change their life and the life of their family. And again, thanks so much for listening.